Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to my first video on my baseball channel where I'm going to be talking about MLB free agency, trades, rumors, predictions, all that juicy stuff. So be sure to subscribe to stay in the loop and for more videos. I'm starting off my first video with a prediction video on the Toronto Blue Jays. So enjoy what I have to say. And if you agree or disagree, be sure to leave a comment down below and even comment your favorite team and I can make a video on them. So here, I'm going to start off with the Blue Jays catchers. Here's Riley Adams. He's a prospect. Don't really worry about him. Right now, it's Danny Jansen, Alejandro Kirk, and maybe Reese McGuire competing for the starting job. I think the Jays are going to sign JT Realmuto to a deal, which would get rid of Danny Jansen, which I don't really like because Jansen is a really good defensive catcher. They're just really waiting for his bat to come around. But I see Jansen going because Kirk's more of a fan favorite, so they'll have Realmuto. And Kirk catching. Reese McGuire I don't see coming to the MLB, and Gabriel Marino is also a prospect who's really good, and I could see him coming to the MLB in the future. Now we move over to the infield, and then we have Bo Bichette, Kevin Biggio, Santiago Espinal, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Rowdy Tellez. I see Tellez and Guerrero splitting time at first base, or Guerrero playing DH. I don't really see him going to third base. I think the Jays are going to add their impact player in the infield, and that leads me to my point. I think Bichette's going to move over to second, Biggio moves over to third, and I think the Jays are either going to acquire Francisco Lindor, which would be very expensive to trade for him, and very expensive to re-sign him after the season as well. Or if the Jays don't get Lindor, I could see them signing Kim, the shortstop. I know the Jays have interest in him, and he could definitely fit well in shortstop and in the middle of the lineup as well. He's a very good hitter and defensive player. Now we move to the outfield, which if the Jays do acquire Francisco Lindor, that would probably mean Lourdes Gurriel Jr. would leave the team, which I like Gurriel. He's a pretty good hitter, and but if he leaves the team, that leaves an open spot in the outfield with Hernandez playing left field or DH. If Hernandez plays DH, that leaves two open spots in the outfield, and then Randall Gritchett in right field. I've heard his name in trade rumors. He has a big contract though, so I don't know if he'll necessarily move. With a spot open in center field for sure, it's either going to be George Springer, which is probably going to go to the Mets. So the Jays are probably going to sign Jackie Bradley Jr. in my opinion, which would be really good because he's very good defensively, very good, solid defensive player in the middle of the outfield, and he's pretty good at hitting as well. He could be a leadoff hitter. And then Hernandez, if he plays left field or DH, they're going to have to sign someone else or maybe trade for someone in the market. But I could see him playing left field to fill that spot. Now, we go over to the Jays' biggest problem, which is their pitching. Right now, they have three starting pitchers on their roster right now: Nate Pearson, Ryu, and Robbie Ray. And then they used to have five: Matt Shoemaker and Taijuan Walker, but they're both free agents. I don't see either of those two coming back. I know the Jays want to re-sign them, but I just see them moving on. So the Jays are probably going to trade Danny Jansen for a starting pitcher or trade anyone else for a starting pitcher. They have some prospects as well. Alex Manoah, who's really good. He might even make his MLB debut this year, which would fill up a fourth spot. And then maybe they run a four-man rotation. I don't really know. I know they had interest in Sagano, who would really put their rotation on the main stage in the AL East with Garrett Cole and Severino coming back for the Yankees. The Jays would really be able to compete, and I think that would be a really good signing for them. So that if that gets their rotation fixed, now to their bullpen, Ryan Borucki, if Ryan Borucki can turn into Andrew Miller, the left-hander who dominates the league, that would be a definite steal, and that'd be really good for them. Anthony Castro, they just claimed him off of waivers. If he can get his command under control, he'd be really good because he has really good stuff. Rafael Dolis pitched really well. They have him for another year. Thomas Hatch, I feel like he's decent. He's nothing special, nothing bad. Same with Anthony Kay, Walker, Lockett. They claimed him off of waivers. Then some other prospects. I think the Jays need to re-sign Ken Giles to a deal. He's really good. Injuries have kind of bitten him the last couple of years, which have been bad because he is really good. He came over from Houston in a trade, and they could probably get him for cheap as well because he hasn't pitched much in the last year. If they don't sign Ken Giles, though, I would recommend them signing Trevor Rosenthal. He's probably going to go to the Yankees, but he's a really good pitcher. He's similar to Giles, slider, 101 mile an hour fastball. So I see them getting that type of pitcher to really lock up the closing of a game as a closer. Or Kella as well from Pittsburgh. He's on the free agent market. He could be a really good middleman for this bullpen, and I think that's what the Jays should do for pitching, is get Sagano, Giles, and Kella. I think that would really bolster their pitching staff. I don't know if that will happen, though, but that's what they probably should do for the best chance of winning. And they can probably even trade some of these guys as well. Tanner Roark's a free agent. I kind of hope they don't sign him back because he didn't really have the best of the year. He gave up like 6 home runs a game against the Yankees, which is their biggest rival. So I don't really see Roark coming back. Trent Thornton has some potential. So does TJ. I think they drafted TJ first a couple of years ago, which he has potential for to be in the starting rotation. Maybe they even use him as a trade piece. But there's definitely some work that could happen with the Blue Jays pitching. I think my predictions would definitely help and maybe might even happen. I see Realmuto joining the catching squad. I see Lindor most likely joining the infield. I could be wrong, though. And then I see Jackie Bradley Jr. or George Springer joining the outfielders. So if the Jays get all these players, which they probably won't, they have the money to, but I don't know if they will. They definitely have a chance to be a really good contender and have a really good team. If you enjoyed this, thank you for watching, and leave a comment on your team so I can do future prediction videos, and see you in the next one.